three all-conference performers from last season, Coach Kelsey Mason. Coach, welcome. I appreciate all of you ladies making the trip out here. Give us a quick introduction of the ladies you brought with you, and then a quick overview of what we can expect out of the Redskins this year.
Okay. This is Mia Spicer to my left. She's a senior middle hitter. And then I have Julia Barzalowskis to my right, and she is a junior setter on right side. This year, out of our team, we're a little bit on the younger side, so we're looking to kind of just build, have senior leadership, and looking for a lot of big things out of our girls.
You have those three returning all-conference performers. Obviously, that's going to form the core of your team. How do you fit all the other pieces in together and just kind of use the strengths that those girls have to trickle down to the rest of the team?
Yeah, definitely. So we're super excited to have those three returning players and having their leadership kind of take over. We have two freshmen that are on varsity this year, and that's just such a big jump from 8th grade to varsity. So the goal is to have our three returning players provide those leadership roles. And one of our big stresses that we've started this season is just kind of holding each other accountable and giving each other positive feedback and that constructive criticism to make ourselves better as a program and accept the fact that we're young and we're learning and there's always room for improvement. And I think our three returning players are taking that role head on, and they're really being a good role model for our younger players.
Mia, basketball player too, right?
Yep.
I remember her name, and I saw you guys play not last season, the year before, so I do remember you. But as a senior leader, you've got some new players to invite onto the team and get them to gel and play their role. How, as a senior leader, how are you handling that role, and what kind of tactics do you use?
So I think the best thing to get everyone comfortable is just to make sure that you're giving them good feedback and just making sure they're accountable and just making sure they're having fun.
And Julia, when you look at the team this year, what do you see as strengths?
I would say that some of our strengths are that we never get down on each other. We're a very positive team, and we are just as a whole team. I would say that we're just always positive. A couple years, sometimes girls are just not the best with each other, but this year I think we have a good bond going, and it's going really great.
Cuyahoga Heights has a phenomenal small school athletic program, going to basketball, football, volleyball has had its run. Softball just played in the state championship for a second time in 7 or 8 years. So, and it's multi-sport athletes. How much does that play a factor into what you guys can do and the success you hope to have? I mean, just being a part of such a, I don't want to say historic, but a prestigious athletic program.
I think there's a lot of high standards that come with that, but I think we all just want to have a good time and we all just come together and we play as hard as we can and we learn from everything that we do, and it's always just a good time. I think also one of the positives of being a smaller school is that our volleyball team is not necessarily just all volleyball-specific players. We have athletes who might play 3 sports, and that allows us to kind of come together with different skills and different talents that blend, rather than just we don't have girls that play club all year long, and we have girls who are awesome basketball players but provide great volleyball talent as well. So it's cool to kind of have that mesh, and being such a small school, you're able to pull together sports teams, and there's just kind of a deeper connection with all of that.
Coach, kind of talk through your rotation a little bit. I mean, obviously we have your 2 seniors here. Who else can we expect to see out there and working into that rotation and making things happen?
Yeah, so we have a little bit of a smaller team this year. We're carrying 9 on varsity. We have running a 6-2 offense with our junior setter and then also a sophomore setter. We have 2 senior middle hitters. We have a senior outside and a freshman outside. We have a senior libero and then a sophomore and a freshman DS player. So definitely kind of different experience on varsity and JV, and then like I said, with those 2 freshmen coming up, they've made a great transition, and the girls have been welcoming them in with open arms. So we'll keep building with that rotation.
Julia, Mia, whoever wants to handle this one, running 9 with a varsity, that's pretty small lineup. Most teams are running 12. A couple of them talked about carrying 15. Most of them are going to play JV, but they'll see some varsity. How does that impact the way you guys approach the game? I mean, you're not going to get as many breaks through that rotation as you might have if you were carrying a few more, but does that impact anything, or does it even kind of help you a little bit?
I mean, I think it's just like, it's once you start like a momentum, it's just like easier to build off of that. So when there's only like a certain amount of us, it's just like easier to build off of each other and just to keep grinding through it.
Personally, I play all the way around. Like, I don't get to sit on the bench at all, so it's
So what you're saying is me as a slacker.
no. Yeah, it's just, it can get pretty tiring, but I feel like personally I'm kind of like a spark plug on the court. Like, I try to keep everyone positive. I try to keep everyone like just going and like super energetic, and I try to just keep that out there on the court.
Coach, through the preseason, obviously with 9 players, you've got to stay healthy. That's the number one key. But some of the other challenges you're going to face throughout the year, what have you seen already in the preseason, and how have you kind of overcome those moments of adversity?
Yeah, so this is my first season as head coach, so I'm kind of stepping into a newer role. I coached JV last year, so I got to know some of the girls, but then just kind of coming into this varsity season, my whole goal was kind of just structure and trying to work around that. So this summer we worked on a more scheduled conditioning practice and getting the girls in for open gym and getting them touches on the ball before August 1st came around. We started camp through an outside program this year, and I think that was a great experience for the girls. They got to get yelled at by somebody other than me for once, and I think they learned a lot. It helped us kind of mesh the program. And then as far as like being a little bit on the more shallow side for our numbers this year for varsity, we have a lot of talent at JV that I can always snag up if we needed to. We just kind of wanted to kind of keep a strong core and work around that, and then our JV coach is working to prep our JV players, and if something does happen that we're not expecting, we can fill those spots and keep moving forward.
Julia, Mia, again, whoever wants to handle this one. Coaching changes can be tough. You're learning new systems, things like that, but having Kelsey come through the JV program, there was some familiarity with the players that she was going to coach, and then also, she knew who you guys were and you knew who she was. How much did that help the transition a little bit?
Well, honestly, she's a wonderful coach. Like, even last year, like, she was out there running drills, like, just being the JV coach, she was just leading everything, and I think she has a good amount of coaching experience, and she also has that, like, the experience of actually, like, playing a lot and playing club, and she coaches club, and I think she's amazing. She's, like, my favorite.
Is that a $20 bill she just handed you?
So my mom actually was a head coach before Kelsey. So I mean, even just like her kind of like taking a step down and then Kelsey kind of like taking a step up, she just knows what she's talking about, and she just knows the game so well. So she's helped tremendously with all of us.
Mia, I'm going to stick with you since you're the senior. Last year high school volleyball, you're going to walk away and graduate and do great things, I'm sure. But when you look back on your volleyball career and other kids that are following you, what do you want them to know about you and remember about you?
I just want them to like remember like that no matter like how hard everything gets, that like you need to like find a way in yourself to like bring everything back together, and just to be a leader and just do everything that you possibly can, no matter what your skills are, to just kind of do your role in the team and bring everyone together.
And Julia, for you, since you've got this year and another year, what kind of goals did you set for yourself this year? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Well, I definitely want to keep my streak going of being a very positive player, and I have a different position this year, which I've played before, but it's definitely new being on varsity and having to set instead of hit. It's a pretty big role on and off of the court, but one of my main goals was to better myself, like with my setting talents, because I think I just want to get better for my team and for my hitters, and I think it would really help if I was just a little better at setting.
And Coach, last one for you is just measuring success. Everybody can look at wins and losses and say it was a successful year. That's not always the case when you're, especially in a coaching change, when you have that transition, you have some younger players. How are you going to measure success this year?
Yeah, I think, so we obviously have a pretty tough conference. We play a lot of talented teams. So my kind of message to the girls this season is just like continue to control what we can on our side and that's how we're going to measure success. Whether we win or lose, if we're controlling and playing the best game we can on our half of the court, then I'm proud of them, and we'll do good things, and the wins will come. Just having them work hard and giving it all they got and picking each other up when they need to, and not getting down if they make a mistake. So I'm going to measure their success based on how the 9 of them interact with each other and how they do what they're out on the court. So we talked a lot about this year about making Heights volleyball something you can be proud of. So I want my seniors to go out this year being like, yes, this is exactly how I wanted to end my senior year. I want my juniors looking forward to next year, and I want my middle school program excited to come up to the high school. So that's kind of my goal. Is our success is going to be ending the season having a good time and looking forward to building a future.
And it wasn't that long ago that Heights was a powerhouse, so I wish you all luck this year. Glad you can make the trip, and good luck this season.
Yeah, thank you
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was the